All right, so I want to start off by congratulating the Atlanta Hawks for getting the Game 4 win and tying this series up 2-apiece. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see this coming. I talked about this earlier today when I got the news that Trae Young was not going to play in Game 4. And I talked about, you know, the Hawks' chances of winning tonight. I didn't have high hopes that they can pull this off. However, I did say that they have a shot. I gave them a shot. And I said the only way they were going to win this game is if everybody rallies. The team rallies and wins this one for their leader. With their leader down, with their star down, with the face of the franchise down. Can these other guys show up and lead the team to a crucial Game 4 victory? I gave them a shot, especially because they were at home, and I believe they could have pulled it off. However, I didn't have confidence, which is why I believed the Bucks would most likely go up 3-1. Well, the Hawks did exactly what they did exactly what I said they would need to do to win the game. Even though I didn't have confidence they would pull it off, they did. So credit to them. Everybody showed up tonight and balled out. From the start, they went off, man. They went off. They had like a 12-2 start, and they just continued to move forward. Of course, the Bucks, they fought back early on, but at some point, the Hawks they continued to go forward, and they would not take their foot off the gas pedal. They said, not tonight. With our leader down, we are stepping up, and we're going to tie this series. This just goes to show that at this stage, we have no clue who's going to win the NBA championship. Because I'm looking at the four remaining teams, and I'm going to be honest, I don't trust any of these four teams in a 7-game series to really get it done. Like, the Clippers, again, they have so much talent, but they don't always show up. The Suns, the team I believed that was going to get to the finals, I thought they would take care of the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard, yet they're going to Game 6. I don't know how that happens, but they're going to Game 6. And if they're not careful, they may be heading back to Phoenix for a Game 7, which is scaring me there. So the Suns, I also don't trust them as well because now they're scaring me. You win the first 2 games without CP3, then CP3 comes back and you lose 2 of the last 3 games. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. We'll see what happens with that for Game 6. Then you have the Bucks, and you have this situation with Chris Middleton, who tonight had a down game. Game 3, he was the hero. He was the guy. He put the team on his back. He did what he needed to do and got the job done. Game 4, didn't play well. Like, that's the inconsistency. He needs to show up consistently and play well. He needs to play like a star. If the Bucks have any chance to get to the finals and win the championship, Chris Middleton has to show up. You can't have one game where he's great and another game where he's just off. No, that's where the inconsistencies are. Like, at least with Giannis, you know what you're going to get from Giannis, but at the same time, it's like you need somebody else to come through. So that's why I'm not exactly trusting this Bucks team. And then you got the Hawks, who, again, they're a team that's resilient, but at the same time, it's just something about the Hawks where it's like they might take this championship because they're low-key been the most consistent team out of all this. But at the same time, it's like there's something there with the Hawks where I don't 100% trust it. But at the same time, I like the story and I like what they're doing, so I still think they got a good shot. But it's just like, at this point, anybody can win the championship. Speaking of Giannis, he was actually the story of this game, unfortunately. To start off this game, he did not play well. He actually airballed a free throw. The crowd went wild. It's been crazy there. And at the end of the day, he just wasn't playing well, and he continued to not play well up until the unfortunate play where Giannis ends up hyperextending his knee. He goes down. He's clutching that knee. His brother helps him get off the court, and he's out for the rest of the game. I believe they're going to take an MRI to look at it and see if there's anything there. But Giannis goes down with an injury, and depending on how severe it is, which, by the way, from what we saw, it looks severe, but we just got to hope for the best. Depending on how that is, it will definitely impact his play, and it will most likely impact this series. So, once again, we have yet another superstar that suffers an injury that may end up impacting the entire series. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? It's like the basketball gods this season said, you know what? No mercy. No mercy this postseason. Every superstar is getting hurt. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. Like, it's still tough. I'm still recovering from Kawhi Leonard's injury. Because 1 minute, I'm watching this man baptize Favors. I mean, just straight up posterize this dude. He caught a body. He absolutely destroyed Favors. I'm watching him doing that, and I'm like, oh, Kawhi Leonard's doing his thing. And the next minute, he's out. He's out. Collides with Ingles. He's out. Suffers that knee injury. Do you understand? That still feels like a horror movie where he goes up after the game and they ask him about the injury and he's like, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. And then we just don't see him play for the rest of the postseason. Like, what? I'm all hyped watching this man play, and I'm just excited to see one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player, play at this high level. And then next minute, he's just gone. That's just how it is. Man, all these injuries to all these stars, it's insane. And it's definitely impacting these series. But at the end of the day, injuries are a part of the game. They're unfortunate, but you can't control them. So I know people will look at this year's NBA champion and say, well, they were lucky because they didn't have to deal with injuries. And a lot of people are thinking the Phoenix Suns may be that team. But at the end of the day, it's just like, nah. And I know one thing's for sure. No matter how this season ends and how this postseason run goes, a lot of people are going to be looking at Adam Silver because he's the one that decided to start the season earlier than expected and had them play 72 games. There was a lot of concerns about starting the season in December. We were like, because you're shortening the offseason for these players, yet you're still giving them 72 games to play. And it was just a risk. And at the end of the day, look at it now. It's clearly showing up. All these stars are getting injured. Not saying that his direct decision led to it, but a lot of people will allude that that was the reason. You can never control or predict an injury when it's going to happen. But for all these injuries to happen, man, you would have to look at the decision he made and correlate it to that situation. Because I think this is a record for the most superstars injured during a postseason. I don't think we've ever had a season where this many superstars get injured. Every series, the superstar gets injured. Every series. It's crazy to see. Injuries left and right. People are going to be looking at Adam Silver and blaming him for this. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough to recover from this. Let's just hope it's nothing serious with Giannis. But if he's out too, man, you can't have a conference finals where Giannis is out and then Kawhi is out. It's like, bro, those are two of your top 10 players. You can't have this happen. You can't have this happen. Like at this point, people are going to be like, what? Who's going to win the championship at this point? Nobody's going to care who wins the championship. Because you already got Kawhi injured on one side, and on the other side, you got Giannis injured now, and Trae Young's injured as well. So, like, how is this gonna go? I just hate injuries, but it's part of the game. Let's just hope and pray it's nothing serious with Giannis. Let's pray that Trae Young will be fine for Game 5 and moving forward. At this point, let's just accept the reality that Kawhi Leonard's not coming back. Like, I just don't see him coming back. I keep holding out faith and hope, but the minute I heard that this was an ACL injury, I immediately knew it was time to pack up. Kawhi's not coming back for the rest of the postseason. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Once again, congratulations to the Atlanta Hawks for getting the job done. You held it down. You got the job done at home. Tied the series up, and we'll just see what happens from there. Hopefully, you guys will be able to get Trae Young back, but at the same time, who knows? Who knows? Game 5 will be in Milwaukee, but depending on Giannis' situation, he most likely will not be playing, which leaves it up to Middleton and Jrue Holiday to carry. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Giannis will be fine to play, but judging by how his injury looked, I don't think he's going to be good to go for Game 5. Nor do I think the Bucks are going to try and risk it. So it's most likely it's definitely going to be up to Middleton and Jrue Holiday to carry this stable. Can they get it done at home for a Game 5? We'll have to find out. Will Trae Young be able to be available and play in a Game 5? We'll also have to find out. But we're not worried about them right now. We'll see what happens with that. Our next focus is on Game 6. All eyes are on Paul George. He had the best postseason game of his career. Can he pull off another superstar performance and force a game 7? We're going to find out. It should be a good one. But with that being said, that is all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.